Hello and welcome back to Hudson Auto Films. It's been quite a while actually since I've been in this barn, almost 2 months. The last bunch of videos you've seen were pre-recorded. I've actually been in America for the last, just over 2 months. So thank you for bearing with me. I know some of those videos were a bit different in content, but I got the word that I had to leave for America about a week and a half, 2 weeks before I had to leave. So I basically spent that 2 weeks filming as much as I could. But as you know, cars like these, there's kind of a quite limited amount you can do in that period of time. So I filmed the filler videos like the garage cleanup and 3 broken Aston Martins. So thank you for bearing with, but we are now back to work. Today I've been at the land since 5 in the morning. It's now about 8:30, unloading another project car, another Aston project car. But that is for the future. Today we are going to properly brace the red car. As you all saw, we had a bit of a failed attempt last time due to awkward measurements. So I have a revised plan, but that requires me to take the car away from the barn. We have limited power here, so welding and all sorts of things is a bit tricky. So I need to get it on the car trailer, drive it back home, and then we're gonna brace it at home. But to get it on the cart trailer, that sounds simple, but all 4 brakes are seized. So I need to start the process of freeing them off. So first things first, I'm gonna chuck a bunch of penetrating oil all around them, leave it to sit for a while, and then see if anything happens. I doubt it. I think it's gonna be a lot of heat required, a lot of hammering. The car hasn't rolled in probably 20 years. So let's go. It's going to need as much help as it can get. Then in the back we've got inboard brakes, so we just have to remove this panel and then we can free it up. These bolts, there's quite a few missing. I'm not sure what they are in Queen's English, but in the modern stuff it's, well, 11 mil should do the trick. If you think I'm being a bit heavy-handed, this bit's all rusted and the bolts impossible, and all of this is being remade. So I'm not too concerned about a simple panel like that. Beautiful. Right, so now you're on the inside and you can see the inboard brakes. You can see how crusty everything is. So all I'm going to do is just lightly wire brush them, fill it up with penetrating oil, and leave it for a bit. I think that's a good place to start. I'll have to do, even though that did basically nothing, but let's see if we can get this all nicely in. Now, last area, just going to hit everything that I can access from the wheel arch. Our little mouse friend is still there, enjoying his life. He was the last owner of the car. Get that DB4 bonnet out of the way. And brake area as well. There's something semi-futile about doing this, as all that WD-40 will probably do next to nothing. But I want to give myself attempt to give myself the easiest job possible on this car. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and we'll start hitting things with some heat and some pressure and some hammers and, you know, all the normal intricate tools required to work on an Aston. So yeah, let's do that. Right, it is 8 AM the next day, so it has been 24 hours leaving that to sit, and I mean, as you'd imagine, it's done bugger all. But we kind of expected that, every little helps. So today's tools, I'm going to chuck a bunch more WD-40 on it, because that's all I've got right now. A lot of heat. We've got the hammers, the chisels, see if we can get it free. So let's get to work. That is a leaf. Obviously it's covered in WD-40, but yay. There's one off. Had a lot of surface on it still. After a lot of work, I've completely degraded the other brake pad, so I'm going to try and pry it out from the centre. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, I could cry. Okay, one down, 3 more to go. But even though that was a complete nightmare and everything about it was hard, I think I at least now have a slightly better idea of how to efficiently sort the front brake. The back brakes are a different entity, which we'll get to, but yeah, 3 more to go. Haha! It's not even out, but it's separated, which is good. Right, that's the front 2 done. The first one took, as you saw, maybe over an hour. It was much worse, but also I don't know, maybe I didn't have the knack for it. The second one took 10 minutes at most. I didn't need any heat, didn't really need much work, just chiseling it out. And the other brake pad, I just kind of hammered down and it freed itself. So I'm not going to worry about removing that other brake pad yet. As long as the car rolls, that's all that matters today. But now we need to get on to the rear brakes, which I don't know, we'll see, might be easier. So these are my refined tools of use. Little hammer, the grips, big hammer, big screwdriver, small screwdriver, and the pin from the front brake pad. So let's give this a go. We'll start with this just to get them flat. Yay. So this wheel is free enough to get onto the trailer, but it's a bit awkward because the handbrake mechanism, which you kind of see down there, is being awkward. So I'm not overly concerned about that because, as I said, as long as it gets on the trailer, it's fine. So I'm going to go onto the other brake, but that one wasn't too hard. And again, like with the front brakes, I'm sure this next one will be even easier, potentially. wheel gives me a bit more leverage and it's turning. So the car is now free and can roll. And even with a car like this where it needs a tremendous amount of work, it is quite nice, these small wins, to know it's rolling for the first time in 20 odd years. It's nice, it's kind of motivating. And certainly motivation is needed on a project like this where everything needs doing. But that's all part of the fun. Right, now we need to quickly clean everything because I've made a total mess. And then we need to clean the splines, get the wheels on, get the hubs on, and get the car on the ground, ready for trailering. So let's do it. She's back on her wheels, and though most people take this for granted, I'm very excited about this. It rolls, which it hasn't in 20 odd years. Midway through that segment, I actually took the wheels off again and took them to the junkyard and had new old tyres put on, which actually hold air, because the previous tyres had, well, the date on them said 1980 and they had rips in the tyre walls and one had a slow puncture, so it was easier just to get new tyres on. And actually, the way the car is looking, I don't know, it feels really I feel quite happy because this is the first time I've had it on the ground with air in the tyres, and everything's looking remarkably straight. But that is a wrap for today. The car is now on its wheels, it rolls, and that is a big step. In the next episode, we will be bracing the car, but well, before we brace the car, we'll be leveling the car, making sure the chassis is straight, and if it's not, making it straight, and then bracing it all up. So I had hoped to do everything in one episode, but things just naturally take way longer than you expect. And as per the audience wanted, you wanted it split up rather than a big long episode. So in a few days' time, you will get the next episode where we really make some big progress on the car. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all that sort of thing. And if you want some bonus content, the link to my Patreon is down below. So please check that out. Any donations go straight to the builds and help this financially terrible decision happen a little bit faster. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.